Hi, I'm Dave Wurzel and you're watching Spotlight. Today on Spotlight, we're taking a look at fraud and scams that target senior citizens, even though these scams could target anybody, but specifically we're going to take a look at how they impact seniors. And this is the third part in a series here. Today we're looking at scams that usually come through the phone, or the phone is part of it. A lot of these scams or frauds that people are trying to commit against somebody might use a combination. Right?
Yeah.
With me to take a look at this topic today is Brad Deline, the owner of Home Instead Senior Care in Palos Heights, who's assisted a lot of seniors in better ways than this, but unfortunately this problem comes up.
Right.
And, you know, I'm going to get us started, I'm going to throw out some numbers that, you know, do a little research on this that are, to me, are really frightening.
Yeah.
The FBI reported in 2021 there were 92,371 scams that targeted seniors that generated a loss in revenue of $1.7 billion. It seems unimaginable to me, you know. The Internet Crime Complaint Center fielded approximately 13,000 tech support fraud complaints from, again, seniors who suffered and specifically in that area, 238 million in losses. I mean, these are huge numbers.
Yeah.
And again, these are the ones that are reported, right? You know, it makes you wonder about the ones that don't get reported.
Yeah.
And
I think many don't get reported.
Probably not. That would be my guess. And you're talking about huge numbers here. So it's a very serious problem. And Brad is going to help us take a look at what some of these scams are, and then hopefully maybe what we can do to avoid falling victim to them. So we're going to talk about a variety of scams. Again, they could turn up in other places, but we're going to focus a combination of phone and internet on some of these.
Yeah,
right?
because they kind of work together on these, but you know, primarily it's the phone.
Okay. Let's take a look at, I'm going to group these into a category. These are government impersonation scams here, and we've got a few to talk about.
Yeah.
How does the Social Security scam work?
So yeah, Social Security is the one where, you know, it's your Social Security account has been hacked, and you know, they might call you and they're trying to get your information. So they'll say that, you know, they're with Social Security Administration, and, you know, to prevent the loss of your Social Security benefits, we need your help with this, and then that starts the dialogue, and then they're, you know, looking for your information. So from that, they're looking for whatever data they can get to where they can scam you. And so the part that they're using is they're using Social Security as the lever for you to react. Mm-hmm. And there's other government agencies too, but the Social Security one, where, you know, no senior wants to lose their benefits or have them stopped.
This could also lead to identity theft.
It absolutely can, and it does. So, you know, you need to be very careful about what you're giving on the phone.
Right. Now, I know that the Social Security has I think a dedicated phone number. You can call them. I mean, that would seem to be the thing. If somebody calls asking for this, you're like, you know what, let me check and I'll get back to you, and then call another number.
Yeah, so if you look at online, the Social Security Administration does not call for that. As many of the government agencies that these scammers pretend to be, they don't call. I mean, you know, we see the IRS threatening.
That was going to be one of my next one. How does the IRS scam work?
Well, so yeah, that one I've actually seen personally several times with seniors that we serve. But basically, they'll call and they'll represent to be the IRS, and they'll be very heavy-handed in that they're like, okay, you need to do this, or the other to avoid being arrested. And
so there's a serious threat here.
Yes.
Like a penalty of some kind.
Yes, the police are going to show up at your door and arrest you, and that's actually very common. And so, but, you know, many people fall prey to this. Seniors are the most vulnerable. these are very sophisticated scams,
Mm-hmm.
but they are very heavy-handed and they're very threatening. But the truth of the matter is these agencies do not make phone calls.
So if you get a call like this from somebody claiming to be IRS, same thing. You're like, you say no,
Right.
you hang up, and then if you need to, you initiate a contact.
Right. So what I would do, I mean, what I would advise any senior to do is talk to their family,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be probably the first thing I would do. The second thing would be you can Google these agencies
Mm-hmm.
and get their number and just call them and say, you know, I'm being called.
Right.
And being threatened, and you'll learn right away that they do not do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to, you're going to have any correspondence with them, it's going to be by mail.
Right. And they're probably not threatening you with jail or.
They are not.
No.
They will not do that. No, that's not how it works in the
What
United
about
States.
another government impersonation here, Medicare?
Yeah.
How do they present that? What are they looking for in that
Well, so
scenario?
Medicare I don't see too much, but yeah, they can pretend to be from Medicare, and the whole idea is to get your birth date, Social Security number, your Medicare ID, and in some cases, you know, they'll bill your Medicare account fraudulently. But some of it is about identity theft too. So you want to be really guarded with that. But the Medicare we don't see as much, but it's certainly out there.
And the same thing, they're not calling, would be my guess, right?
They're not.
No. All right, so those are 3 examples of government impersonation type scams. Let's move
Right.
to 2 others here. We got a whole list of them.
Yeah, we could talk for days on this.
But I'll hold you to 2 more here.
Yeah.
The grandparent scam, which seems to be, I think we've heard about this. I feel like I've read about it in the news. Can you explain how that scam works?
Yeah, so that one is, we all see this one. And so basically, the phone rings, grandma or grandpa answers the phone, and if it's a male or female, they'll say grandma, and they'll say yes. And the senior might ask, who is this, and you don't know, and then the grandparent fills in the name. Mm-hmm. Oh, is this Luke or is this Jimmy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've got it. It's Jimmy. And so then from that, they're taking that and they're running with it. And what they'll say is that don't tell my mom or dad, but I'm in trouble, and I need your help. Mm-hmm. And so then the grandparent, they want to take care of their grandchild. So I need money for bail. I'm in jail, or I have my car is broken down and I need some money. Can you get me some money? And so typically what we'll see then is that they'll ask that senior to go get gift cards, but don't tell anybody.
Right.
That is just it's such a horrible scam.
So you're praying, not just taking advantage of them, but taking advantage of their willingness, their goodness to help a family member.
That's right.
I'm thinking grandparent.
We're all going to do that.
Right, your grandson or granddaughter needs help. Of course you want to.
Of course, yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And then one last one for today to talk about is, I'm going to label as tech support, because this is a combination one that'll work with the computer and a phone call. How does this scam go?
Well, I mean, basically, let's say you're on your computer and you inadvertently get open into some malware, mm-hmm. and it locks up your computer. And the computer locks up and says that you need tech service and call this number. And then that number that you call, they could pose as employees of Microsoft or Google or whoever, and they start getting your information. And from that, they'll say, well, we can free this up, but it's going to need, $400 or $500 to remove this this virus.
Mm-hmm.
So that, then, they're again instructed to go to the store and get some gift cards, some Google Play cards or whatever, and then bring them back and then give them the numbers so that they can redeem these, $400 or $500 worth of cards, and it's just cash. There's no way to trace it back.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you want to do with this is you want to get a family member involved right away and say, okay, this is what I've got happening, and it's a scam. You need to get your computer to somebody who can, clean that up and remove that virus or malware. They're all out there, and they're all just out there phishing. So, but they'll pretend to be this, and they'll say, call this number. And this number is routing to somewhere in the world. Who knows where it's going? And you have these fraudulent people doing these things, and you're like, well, okay, anybody can fall victim to that.
Well, again, it's that same thing where it sounds like there's definitely a pattern here. Whether you're in trouble, you're in danger, or something bad is about to happen, or in this case, you're surfing the internet and you bump into something, you pull in a virus or malware or whatever the thing is, and now you really do have a problem.
That's right.
And they're offering to help, but they're not offering to help at all, because the virus isn't going to go away, and they're going to do your thing.
Yeah, and all of these things start with a threat.
Right.
And the threat could be, you're going to be audited by the IRS, you're going to go to jail, you're going to lose your benefits, you're going to lose the ability to use your computer, which, we all need. And, it's something that you really need to guard against.
It sounds like, so maybe to kind of summarize, the one thing is, in the case of the government, they're not calling you.
No, they're never going to do that.
And if you think that you've got that phone call, you can, hang up and then try and contact the government agency
verify.
On your own. Do it on your own. Verify it.
That's right.
The grandparent scam, don't ever. Talk to a family member before you help that grandson or daughter who says they're in trouble.
Yeah, that's such a common scam.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it more often than most.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And then obviously the tech support. It seems like in that scenario, you want to go, don't call them. Go to a business that you know in your community or area or family member can help you find that can remove the malware or the virus, whatever needs to be done.
Right, that's exactly right. And so, what I would suggest is do not open emails from people you don't know. And similarly, do not answer the call, the phone of people you don't know.
Yeah.
So with the caller ID, if you don't know who it is, don't answer it.
Let them leave a message, right?
You get back to them.
Yeah.
That's just the safest thing to do. And if more people will do that, that $1.7 billion would probably be cut in half.
Yeah.
So that would be a nice,
Boy, that sure would
nice
be.
goal.
Yeah, make those numbers not so
Yeah,
crazy.
because that's such a painful thing.
Yeah. Okay. Brad, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is really helpful. Good advice, but also understanding how these scams work and then what to do in the face of them.
That's the start of it. If we understand how they can get you, then you can protect yourself.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Brad.
You're welcome.
You've been watching Spotlight, and we've been taking a look at fraud and scams that target senior citizens. This is part 3 in a series, and we've been taking a look at phone scams. Thank you for watching.